Abby lay so still on the hospital bed. A flicker of consciousness went across her face, and then she drifted out again. Isabel, her mother, watched her, seeing those flickers and shadows passing across her youngest child's face, had been the same now for months. It had been nearly 2 years since Abby's accident, and Isabel's mother's heart told her that Abby's unconscious world was as filled with a wealth of unseen experience as it had always been. There had been moments of alertness, brief but telling. Each time she re-entered consciousness, Abby would talk furiously at great pace about seemingly random things, places she'd been, people she'd met, fragments of experiences she'd never actually had, and references to seemingly supernatural experiences, with obvious overlays of her inner world onto the external reality. In particular, Abby seemed frightened of Dr. Jenny Vasco, her familiar, kind, and committed doctor that she'd known for most of her life. Several times in her alert moments, Abby had made efforts to pull Isabel close and whisper that he was dangerous. "Stay with me, Mom. Don't go while he's here. He's dangerous. Can't you see? He's bad." She obviously saw Dr. Vasco as male in these episodes. As ever, Abby's world seemed simpler and peopled with good and evil, fear and joy, and wondersome adventures. For Isabel and Paul, her husband, and for their entire family, this had been a harrowing time. She had many times and many causes to reflect in gratitude on her blessings. There had been so much support, so many people came to help, but this was hard. Abby had been such a key part of their family life, with her puppy Mausel, who'd now grown into a huge lolloping wave of hairy smile and enthusiastic bonhomie. Each time Isabel watched Mausel careering round the garden, her heart lurched, remembering that Abby had never seen him this big, and remembering that if it hadn't been for Abby's love of Mausel, she would still be whole and well, that the accident would never have happened. Mausel had been such an unexpected part of their large and sprawling family. With so many children and 3 working farm dogs, they'd always been very clear with the children. No pets. But then Abby had arrived with her golden hair and her different features. Isabel had been told she was really too old to continue having children, but there were other plans afoot than her own, and Abby had rolled into their lives with a whole extra copy of chromosome 21, masses of energy, and a heart full of love. From before the time she could talk, Abby's love of dogs was blindingly obvious, and no one was surprised when she was the first in the family to have a puppy. She also had a wild imagination which filled her life with heroes and heroines, villains and dastardly deeds. As determined as she'd been to have a dog, Abby was also determined to become a writer, and Mausel was already the hero of several short stories.